Okay, now we're officially into simulating Season 1. And going into the start of Season 1, the regular season, this is my roster. It is now salary cap compliant. We have plenty of cap space as of right now. We have a full roster. This is who's going to be on the roster to start Season 1. Max Pacioretty, 88 overall. PK Subban, 88. Duchesne, 87, our new addition at the draft when we made our trade to start the GM mode. Plekanec down the middle. Markov. Georges, Bork, Eller, Yemelin, Gallagher, Gianna, Desharnais, Jordan Leopold, Prust, Bouillon, Moen, Diaz, I see as an extra healthy D, and of course Drewski is also just a healthy extra D. I tried to send Drewski down to the A, but it said we would be below the minimum skater requirement. And then I sent Tokarski down to the A because we got to have 2 goaltenders in the AHL at least. We could go sign another minor league goaltender because Delmas is 59 overall. But look, the AHL doesn't really mean much of anything to me outside of player development. But our 2 goaltenders this year obviously going to be Carey Price. I don't know if I've shown this yet, but there's Carey Price. There's all of the attributes, everything. Can we see the stats from last year? We can see the stats from the previous 3 seasons. 927 save percentage last year. That's a preseason. So ignore 2013-14. That's the preseason. So ignore his preseason numbers. We got his previous 3 regular season numbers, though. 39 games played, 65 games played, 72 games played. Save percentages in those years, 905, 916, 923. I mean, you full well know what Carey Price is capable of doing for the Canadiens. Playoff stats as well. Ew, that's a rough GAA in 2012, 2013, 894 save percentage. So not coming off of the greatest postseason appearance for the Canadiens. And of course, we got to edit lines as well. And I probably could have used a little more depth. Is there anyone there's got to be someone scratched, unless I got to call someone up. I may have to call a player or 2 up to make this roster work. Yeah, we're going to have to call someone up because we got to have Moen down. So I'm going to call, I should have signed a winger, shouldn't I? I could probably go do that in free agency. Oh, this is a problem. We got to go to free agency. Hey, Drewski, you want to play forward? That's Simon Gagne. Simon Gagne, he's a good skater. And yeah, that'll work for me. I mean, I can't be too picky choosy. 1 year. I'm going to bump that value up a little bit. Yeah, sure. 1 year. That's fine with me. LaRose, get in here. We'll do Chad LaRose. Well, it's opening night. And I made a little bit of a miscalculation in terms of the depth that I have. I assumed that we had a full roster of forwards. I didn't really pay any attention to it. This is something that I overlooked for some stupid reason. So it's opening night against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the GM is not off on a good foot, as we do not have we're missing 2 wingers. So Drewski, the defensive defenseman, and Rafael Diaz, the offensive defenseman, have to play on the 4th line, left wing and right wing, beside Desharnais. Desharnais like, what am I doing playing for this organization? I have to play 4th line center beside 2 defensemen for the opening night game. Now, I have sent out contract offers in free agency to Chad LaRose and Simon Gagne as a last-minute plea. Please sign with the Canadiens so we can fill out our roster for Season 1. And I'm going to need to go sign another depth forward as well besides those 2 guys. But I had 2 days before opening night when I sent those contracts out. Neither of those players have signed yet with the Canadiens, so I'm still waiting on their feedback to me. But we do have a full roster at D, so we're fine at D. I have no problem with this. For Season 1, it's just going to be what it's going to be. We're hinging on Subban, Georges, Markov, Yemelin. Just those top 2 pairings have to be my best pairings. And then, of course, hinging on Carey Price in the goal crease. What we looking like on the power play? I mean, I'm fine with this. I'm going to roll with that. Duchesne should be a difference maker for this team. He really should be. So that's a good signing. I can deal with a lack of depth with having a lot of good we've got a good force up front, a good top 6 here. If you see that entire top 6 there for yourself. Okay, so that little blunder aside, it's opening night, and it's against the Toronto Maple Leafs. You know what that means. We have to sim it. And I don't care about my AHL team now. We're going to sim it. We've got 2 defensemen on the fourth line, and we've already taken a penalty right away in the game. How is this going to go for the Montreal Canadiens on home ice in front of your home crowd at the Bell Center against your arch rival, the Toronto Maple Leafs? We have not generated a shot on goal yet. We're almost 4 minutes into the game, and I'm going at the real sim. So there we go. We'll speed up the sim now. Oh, it's Rene Bourque. He gets the Canadiens on the board first. First goal in the game and the lead to the Canadiens. Penalty killed off again against the Leafs. First period, clear of danger for the Habs. Carey Price holds the fort down, facing 10 shots now through 2 periods of play, a period and a half. Another penalty against the Canadiens. Is 2 defensemen on the fourth line to answer for the Canadiens? We have a tie game. Colborne scores it. I'm going to have to check the plus-minus at the end of the game, but Rene Bourque has his second of this game. Tie game by Carter Ashton on Carey Price. Levels the game at 2. Canadiens with a long power play. There's another goal. It's even strength by Lars Eller, and the game is complete. That was a whirlwind. I'm glad that went by in a blast. Now the important question... Were my 2 defensemen, were they minuses? Did they have any points on the night? Were they a contributing factor in tonight's season opening, home opening victory against the Maple Leafs? There's the scoring sheet from game number 1 out of 82 in season 1. Rene Bourque assisted by Matt Duchene. Get used to it because, he did it again later on in the game. Rene Bourque from Matt Duchene and PK Subban getting his first point of the season. Lars Eller from Moen and Prust. That's my third line scoring on that goal. Now the big moment. Here's all the penalties as well. Drewiski, there's the defenseman. Drewiski takes a hooking penalty playing on the fourth line. Left wing, I'm not sure where he's playing. Home stats, this will tell the story. So your pluses, Bouillon, that's a defenseman playing D. I'm looking for my defenseman that played on the wing. Drewiski was one of them. He had 1 shot. He played 8 minutes. So, we put him on the fourth line, so we minimized his ice time. He took 1 penalty. And he took a face-off? And he won a face-off? He's 100% on the draw as a defenseman. What the hell was this game? Rafael Diaz was playing D. He played 7 minutes tonight. I'm looking for... Who played D alongside Drewiski? Who was my other healthy scratch? Was it Bouillon? I think Bouillon played forward in this game. Yeah, maybe? No. Who played... I don't even remember my roster. Oh, God. This makes me feel so stupid because I don't know who came in as who played alongside of Drewiski. Well, if it was Bouillon, he was a +2 on the evening. He had no shots on goal. We'll take a look at it whenever I have to edit the lines after my free agent signings decide to get back to me. There's your 3 stars from game number 1. Finally, 2 days after that game against the Maple Leafs, Chad LaRose has accepted my offer very kindly. Get in there. I'm not asking you to do much. I'm just asking you to play 1 season for the Canadiens. It's why it's a 1-year contract. Saved me a lot of money because we are tight on cash this season. The cap space is not very much. And I got Simon Gagne in there as well. We're going to need to go get a depth winger in case of injury as well. So my little experiment with 2 defensemen has worked out for the first game of the season. So it was Drewiski and Diaz. I thought it was... who did I think it was? I thought it was Bouillon, but Bouillon was playing D. Rafael Diaz was the other winger in that game. So are they now a part of the NHL roster is my question. They are not. I have to send guys down and call those guys up. I'm going to cut that out of the video now. Drewiski went down on waivers. He may get claimed. They might like that. Someone out there might like that player. Chad LaRose, Rafael Diaz, we're going to scratch you. You're a healthy extra. Gagne and LaRose, bring it back in here, by the way, in editing. Gagne and LaRose on the fourth line. Our new acquisitions are going to be playing with each other to start the season. a two-way forward, and a grinder. We got a couple of grinders down here in the bottom 6. I'm going to be interested to see how that plays out. You know, you might be better off to actually move Pruss to the 4th line and limit his minutes, give Gagne a little bit of a boost in ice time, and make that 4th line. That's an interesting 4th line with Desharnais on it. Got our roster set, got everything set, got guys signed. We've got an actual team of forwards playing forward. Now we can do a real quick sim for Season 1. I do intend on getting right through all of this. So Game 2 against the New Jersey Devils, it's a 6-5 win for the first time with LaRose and Gagne in the lineup. And I went ahead and I changed my captains. I've made Max Pacioretty one of the alternates. It was George's going into the season. I have given the A, one of the 2 A's to Max Pacioretty. Off to a nice start, man. Not a shutout yet for Carey Price, but that's 4 straight wins against Eastern Conference opponents. You can see it on the screen there. Taking on Sidney Crosby's Pittsburgh Penguins. Jokinen leading that team in goal scoring. Christopher Breen has been put on waivers by the Calgary Flames. I'm going to say no to that. I didn't pay attention. I had to put Drewiski on waivers when I sent him down. Did he get claimed? No, Drewiski did not get claimed. So that's good news. He got sent down to his AHL assignment. Victor Bartley is on waivers. I'm going to view the player info, but I'm thinking no. But that would be an interesting pickup. Is there anything he's particularly good at? I mean, his skating's pretty good, but nothing really stands out to me. That's definitely a no for me. But the overall rating of the player stands out to me that Nashville would put that guy on waivers. Maybe they had an injury and they didn't have a choice but to call the guy up and then send him back down. We're off to a flying start. 6-0-0 with this team. Were the additions of Simon Gagne and Chad LaRose exactly what the Montreal Canadiens were missing in order to go on a hot streak to win, to open the season, with Alexander Bolduc put on waivers. Again, another one where I'm going to view the player. Anything he's exceptional at. His physical ability is pretty decent. His skating is pretty decent. It's a really tempting one for me because, I mean, with Edmonton putting this guy on waivers, I really kind of want to put a claim in. Can I see stats? Anything he's done? He's played 2 games. He's -1. NHL, I mean, 14 games here in the NHL. He hasn't really done anything at the NHL level. So, for me, that's going to be a no. And they put Steckel on waivers as well. David Steckel, nothing that really stands out to me as well. A grinder, center, that's a no. So we lost it big time to the Rangers, 7-1, handing out our first loss of the 2013-14 season, which is Season 1, 3-4-0 Rangers team. Rene Bourque leads the team in goal scoring with 9. I wonder how many assists Duchesne has. We'll take a pause at some point in the season and we'll look at all those stats. I am not concerned about seeing stats until we get at least like halfway through. And it's weird. It hasn't asked me for a scouting assignment, but I guess I sent the scout off to check on the WHL for like a month because that's where Su Kai Ming, the potential Ming dynasty. Oh, George's is injury. Or is injured. George's is injury. He is injured. I didn't even know that. But is that a playable injury? What is it? What does the assistant coach have going on there in terms of the replacement for that? They should just stick... Yeah, they stuck Diaz in there for George's. They didn't even tell me that George's was injured. So I'm going to have to... Basically, everyone on the left side moves up 1, basically. So you move up, and then Diaz all the way down. Does that affect the power play? It does affect the power play. Does it affect the penalty kill? It does affect the penalty kill. I'm going to have to double shift someone. Or we go... That's kind of a lethal shootout lineup right there. So we're going to be missing George's for 4 weeks. We got to upgrade that med staff really soon. In fact, when we get through November, I'll see how many GM points I have available to spend to upgrade my staff. I had to make some moves on D to replace George's because he was playing on my top pairing. And the assistant coach threw Diaz in there. And here we go. Now I can adjust the scouting assignment. So let me do that real fast. I'm going to leave this actually in the video. I want to leave this in the video. We'll scout forwards, but we need to be like in one of the... I feel like we need to be in one of the Canadian junior leagues to find... Yeah, there's Arnaud. He's a potential first-round pick. I'm going to scout that for not 6 weeks. Let's do 5 weeks scouting that. I want to get a good feel for some of these players I've created. it'll make it fun when we go to the draft, period of time. Depending on where we end up picking, it'll be very fun to see what players fall to us. There's Carey Price's first shutout of the season. And, oh no. Eller is gone for 2 months. I just saw that. We're really being dealt some big injuries now. I gotta go to, how do I do it? It's not from here, is it? It's the GM tracker, isn't it? Yeah. GM tracker, and then go all the way to staff abilities. Can I upgrade? I can upgrade the, oh no, I can't upgrade the med staff yet. Damn it. Big blow, because now Eller was my, there got LeBlanc in there. Eller was my fourth line center. And who else is injured? I already forgot who got injured. I think we lost someone on D. We've got Yemelin, Leopold, Bouillon, Diaz gets in there. Everyone on the left side moved up, though. My defense is unaffected, aside from George's. So basically, with George's injured, and I got to remember this, George's on the top pair, then Markov moves down, and then Yemelin moves down. Diaz comes out of the lineup. We keep the Bouillon cube in there, and he goes to the right side. If that makes any sense. It's all crazy. But Chad LaRose went down with an injury, so it's LeBlanc and Blunden getting in there. I got to go sign a free agent. I don't know that there's really much in free agency at this point, but I got to try to find some free agent depth at forward. Is McDonough still out there? He's still out there. That's crazy. I don't have the cap space for it, though. That's the issue. I don't have the cap space to go sign a big free. I don't even have the cap space to sign any free agents. So I'm kind of boned as it is. I couldn't even sign like Matt Cook. I don't want to sign Matt Cook. I couldn't even sign one of these guys that are seeking like a minimum value contract like Nystrom. So I guess we're just waiting because Eller's gone for 2 months. Do we just ride out this wave? I guess we just got to ride out this wave. At least it's my fourth line center. I can't believe McDonough hasn't been signed out of free agency, but maybe teams don't have the cap space. George's is a 3-week injury. LaRose is a 3-week injury. I got to make do. When those guys come back healthy and I send back down my replacement players, if you want to call them that, my call-ups from the AHL, I may have to look at the cap space I got available. There's a loss to the Lightning, but we've lost some games in extra time, so that helps us to get that loser point. Corbinian Holzer, that's just a no. Curtis Foster is a defenseman. How old is he? He looks like he's 31. He's actually not that old. That's a good depth op. Can I just sign this guy? Can I claim this guy and put him in the minors? Does he do anything well? His categories are not really anything exceptional. In the NHL, one game, a -1, but you can't really take anything away from that one game in the NHL this season. 23 games played prior to that. I took a few penalties there, 25 minutes in penalties. I feel like we could use the depth, but then again, I'm just going to say no to that. Screw it. I'm not going to claim the player. Simming on past Boston, one of our other arch rivals, the Boston Bruins. That was a regulation loss, and we rematch in a home and home. Coming back to the Bell Center against the Bruins, hoping to get back healthy soon. We really need to get healthy very quickly. By the end of November, I'm going to look at the GM tracker again. A 3-0 loss to the Bruins. I'm going to look at the GM tracker again and see if I can spend points on upgrading that med staff. I don't even care about scouting right now. Carey Price may be the only thing that helps us weather the tide of the injuries that we're dealt with right now. It's another regulation loss. We're losing close games here. 2-1 loss to the Bruins. I know we got shut out, but then a 2-1 loss to the Coyotes. Oh, Ryan White finally signed. It's good timing for you to decide you're going to sign that restricted free agent contract I tendered to you in the offseason. Now that we're dealing with all these injuries, Ryan White, I need you to actually get in the freaking lineup now. So get your ass to Montreal and suit up. Well, before I put Ryan White in there, let's look at LeBlanc. He's played 5 games, 4 penalties a minute, 8 shots. He's not a negative. I don't know if it shows you his time on ice, but I'm not really seeing his time on ice. So LeBlanc hasn't really done anything wrong. He's playing center. Blunden is playing beside him on the fourth line, replacing LaRose, I believe. He's 26 years of age, 74 overall. 6 games played this year. 1 goal. He's got a goal, a -1. He's been in the NHL. He's played in the NHL before, so he's had 5 games there, 39 games there. just an okay AHL depth option, but we really need that guy White to get in the lineup. Now, is he down in the A? I imagine he's in the AHL, and I'm gonna have to make a move. I am. Okay, this is really just throwing me for a loop. We can't make a transaction. I can't call White up right now. He's in the AHL. I can't call him up because I have like 0.2, like point. That's the emphasis. Emphasis on point. 0.2 something million in cap space. So I can't call White up because I'd be over the salary cap limit, which I don't know why we don't put Lars Eller on long-term injured reserve. And then I can't send down a player because I'd be below the minimum roster limit. So we just got to ride with this team until we get healthy. So someone has to come back off of their injury. We keep losing games. It just couldn't be a worse time to be dealing with these injuries. So I guess the game just doesn't have long-term injured reserve in mind where a player gets injured and then they don't count against the salary cap for your team. We just keep losing games. Hopefully we don't keep losing players to injury. I need players back healthy as soon as possible, especially Chad LaRose and Georges. It's just loss after loss after loss for the Canadiens. We've fallen all of a sudden to 9-8-2 after our hot start. Georges is available, and I just got to put him in the lineup, even if it's a playable injury. I got to do it. I got to have Georges in the lineup. Diaz, I'm sorry. Diaz is going to get scratched, and I'm just going to cut all this out from here, and I'm going to do all the editing. Okay, we got one guy back. Josh Georges is back. I'm not going to send a defenseman down. We just brought in our healthy scratch, so I can't send anyone down and call up White, and that's our first win in forever. Chad LaRose should be back soon, and then we'll be dealt some other injury. Lars Eller still 9 weeks away, and there's Chad LaRose, confirmation he is back. It's basically a very simple London get out and put Chad LaRose in the lineup. Where's LaRose? He's all the way down here. I finally got to call up Ryan White with the healthy Chad LaRose. We got to call White up to the team. I hate whenever you have a game at the end of the week because you can't just skip to the next week without it doing some weird glitchy nonsense. But anyway, we're playing the Buffalo Sabres. Is it really late November already? Because I normally, at around December, the start of December, I like to look at the team stats. And it is now December 1st. So it's officially December 1st. We're on a bit of a win streak. I'm going to keep it going in the first week of December. Matt Duchene went down with an injury. God knows. That's a brutal one. I actually got to stop simulating because I don't want... I bet you Ryan White's first-line center now. Ryan White's going to be the first-line center. You know it. And we lost 5-6. I bet because of that. Let me take a look. And I'll take a look at the stats in a second. Not jersey numbers. I wanted to go look at the lines. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, game. You didn't. Duchene injury is brutal. We're still missing Eller. We're missing Duchene for an uncertain amount of time, unspecified amount of time right now. You know what? Plekanec on the first line makes sense. LeBlanc, you're not playing second line time. In fact, you're going to go down on the fourth line, play with LaRose. This is going to throw all the other lines. The power plays all over the place now. So I just got to go Ryan White, get out of there, and we'll put Gallagher on Desharnais. Sure, Desharnais, first line power play. That works for right now. This throws everything for a loop with the injury to Matt Duchene. I'm just going to put... I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put Plekanec. He's going to get double shifted on the four-man power play. Penalty kill can be Ryan... How good defensively is Ryan White? Okay, he's responsible defensively. I'm just going to keep him on the PK, and hopefully it works out. You're not centering that. No, you're not centering... who was it? Desharnais? I'm going to just put Desharnais on the three-man PK for right now. It's going to be fun when I have to go back and change all this. There's Plekanec. Ryan White in the shootout lineup that's golden right there. Oh, that's just such a great choice. Bork, get up there. Wonderful news that Duchene is injured. We're playing Nashville now. We're going to sim past this game. Drew Schiestel? That's just an easy non-claim for me. Duchene's out. Really? You're going to make me go to the trouble of editing the lines only for Matt Duchene to come back healthy. So LeBlanc, you're getting out of there. Duchene, you're getting in. I got to scratch LeBlanc. Plekanec, second line center. Duchene, Plekanec, yeah. Desharnais, you're down. Plekanec, second. Oh, geez, this is so bad. We won 3-1. Duchesne is back healthy. Georges went down again. Can I... Oh, you know what? Let me send past the Anaheim Ducks game. And then I'm going to go look and see if I can upgrade the med staff. And we'll take a look at the player and team stats through the first week in December. It's a 4-1 win. Georges is gone for 6 weeks. God knows. How much cap space do I have before I do anything else? Cap space available. See, I have no cap space. I can't sign anybody. I can barely do any roster moves. GM tracker. I can still not upgrade them. That's brutal, man. I need to upgrade that med staff so bad. It's not even funny. Can I do what can I do scouting wise? Can I do anything scouting wise before we look at team stats, player stats, anything like that? So there's your created players. Arneson, Arnaud. Those guys have been scouted, I guess, by my team scout. And this is all leagues. Can we sort this by potential? Let's sort it by potential. That'll be way more exciting. And because there's so many players, it's going to take a while to sort this. Leon Draisaitl. I should have made Draisaitl better than he actually is in this game. I should have edited Draisaitl a little bit because, I mean, he's become a beast in real life, as we all know. Arneson, my created player. Arnaud, my created player. Su Kai Ming, my created player. It's saying he's 3-star potential. He's 17 years old, so give the guy a break. Anybody else that I created? I don't see any of my other created players down here. Yeah, so that seems to be... Man, Markov is going to get his ice time. Georges is a 6-week injury, by the way. I don't know how long Jordan Leopold is. I cannot wait to upgrade that med staff. But in the meantime, I mean, I'm going to have to just kind of go in and edit and rotate some of those defensemen that get double shifted because I just got a double shift defenseman. So we're going to start first game with Markov getting double shifted. So I'm going to go in and do this on a game-by-game basis. Markov is getting double shifted to start with. He's playing second pair and third pairing minutes. He's playing on 2 different pairings, and it led to a victory. We got done with the scouting assignment. He was scouting in Swiss. Leopold is a 4-week injury. Oh, that sucks. So hard mode extreme. I'm gonna just run. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna double shift Markov for this first game against Anaheim, and then we're gonna put someone else in there to get double shifted. And someone's gonna get injured doing this, being double shifted. One of my defensemen's gonna get injured. Something's gonna happen to this team. Anaheim, we lost 6-5. Time for PK Subban to get the double shifted game. I think we just give PK Subban all that ice time, see if it works out for him and works out for the team. It did not. Not that it matters. Not that I could call the guy up anyway. Oh, I so hate not having any freaking cap space. And I didn't really... I thought I had cap space. I thought I had like 4 million of cap space going into the season, but then what's happened is we've had all these injuries, and the injured players still count against the cap in the game. And then you call players up from the AHL, and they count against the cap as well. So that's why we're running right up against the salary cap. It's a brutal world, and I just got to live in it. The Bouillon Cube gets double shifted now. This is the worst part about this game for the first couple of seasons. Until you upgrade your medical staff, the injuries in this game are rough in the simulation. It would have to be Chorney, who's 73 overall. That's just not a viable option on D at all. I mean, I guess it's better than having a forward playing D, but not by much. We just keep losing games, man. We're not getting any victories. We're not getting any points. I miss the Calgary GM mode where that's a no. I miss where we maxed out the med staff and then we stopped having injuries for the whole season. Like, I didn't have to stop to worry about anybody getting injured because the med staff was so good that no one ever got injured. By the time we get healthy, someone else gets injured. Jordan Leopold's about to come back in a few days' time. So we're going to get at least that defenseman back into our lineup. We're after Christmas. It's a 2-0 win. It's a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle for the Canadiens. A win. A long-needed win. Make it back-to-back? No, we couldn't get the 2-for-2 special there. Jordan Leopold, come save this hockey club from its own eternal doom here. Okay, so we're past the Buffalo Sabres. It is New Year's Eve, so that's where we left off. 2013 New Year's Eve. I'm pretty sure that in the real world, the Montreal Canadiens, I'm talking December 31st, 2013, by the way. In the real world, I'm pretty sure the Canadiens visited the Hurricanes and played a wild game on New Year's Eve. The reason I recall that is because I was in attendance for that game. It was one of the craziest games I've ever attended. It was a meaningless regular season game for the Hurricanes, but they managed to pull off a crazy comeback. I remember that one. If you can find the highlights on YouTube, you'll see a crazy game. For anyone that may or may not remember or know anything at all about that game. But this is awkward for me because I'm doing this recording in two parts because, again, another malfunction of the computer recording again. I just straight up need to get a new laptop, but that's easier said than done, right? So we're going to continue the sim. I want to take a look at what we're doing through this point in the season and in terms of the team standings. So we're going to do this in the frame of the entire league. On points, let's look at the division first. So how far, I went past the Atlantic. How far out of the division lead? So the division win or division lead is certainly not impossible for this team. But we need to get hot, and it needs to happen right now. We just played Buffalo, so that was a crucial victory. I believe we won the game over Buffalo. We just played them. Crucial victory. Now back to the entire league here. Goals for... We are not really a happy goal-scoring team right now. We're not scoring a lot of goals. In fact, goals for per game, 2.64. That's way off the mark. You need to be scoring on average about 3 goals per game. We need to get that goals for per game number up there because those are freaking rookie numbers for this team. Goals against per game, 2.97, and we're giving way too much up. This is not necessarily all on Carey Price. We've been dealt our fair share of injuries. We knew it would be that way because it's season 1. You're always going to deal with injuries in season 1 until you fix the med staff. Power play not executing either. So there's all kinds of issues up and down the roster for this club. Power play, penalty kills, dreadful. It's just not going good for us right now. We're 2-5-3 in our last 10. An updated look, by the way, at what injuries we're dealing with. I think we got Jordan Leopold back with a playable injury, but Lars Eller remains out until February 1st. Again, we are at the new year, so January 1st. That means a good 3 weeks before we see Josh George's return to the lineup. Remember, did I not send in the last... It's been a few days since I recorded this, and I'm recording this in 2 parts, just so everyone's aware. So I'm a little confused at what's going on right now, but I'm pretty sure that I sent out a contract offer in the last recording session. Well, I got in the NHL. I mean, this is obvious what we've got in the NHL in terms of these players, but did I call anyone up or sign anyone? I know we called Ryan White up. Before I stopped the recording, the last time I recorded, I called someone up. I thought on D. Did I not call up? I thought I called up Gilroy, and you can see in the top right, we have $0.368 million. That's right. We barely have any cap space. And I called him up, so the computer, unless we get an injury, the computer cannot call any other players up. I've called up a defenseman in reserve because we are beat up on that blue line. Fortunately, though, we did get Jordan Leopold back. Okay, I'm sorry for keeping you guys waiting. Shall we begin the sim beyond the new year, starting with the Florida Panthers? We've got a healthy Jordan Leopold. We're still a little bit banged up. I don't know if I probably should have looked at the lines and the D pairs. Probably should have done that before I started simming, but we're only simming 2 games. So hopefully we can get a win over Detroit. And it did happen. We did get a 4-1 win over Detroit. No, we're fine on D. We're fine because Jordan Leopold got back in there. We're fine on D. I haven't paid any attention to... We got a problem. Gilroy, the defenseman, got inserted into the lineup at center. These first season injuries are absolutely ball breakers. It happens the whole year. Season 1 in this game, the injuries are ridiculous. ridiculous. It's just something I have to put up with. So who got injured? Ryan White gets inserted into the lineup, the fourth line, just to go in and get injured. He got himself injured, and I don't know that I have any cap space. Let me do this. Let me go to roster moves. Any cap space? We don't have any cap space. I can't call anybody up. I don't have a choice but to play a defenseman at center because of all my injuries. I can't even call a forward up if I wanted to. I don't have cap space available, so we have to play my defenseman at center. Oh, good. Ryan White is back, so that just means I take out the defenseman. I didn't have to move anywhere. Gilroy's down here at center. I just need to find Gilroy. Scratch that player, find Ryan White, trust the player, and put him in the lineup. It's just that simple. So I'm conflicted. Should I even try to change the power play, penalty kill, any of this stuff, the deep pairings, when we've got all these injuries and we're going to be dealt even more injuries? I think the injuries are affecting a lot for this Canadiens team because when we were healthy, we started off hot. It's the main reason this team has an 18-15-5 record to begin with going into this game against Florida. I'm going to simulate past Florida. I think we sim a couple of games, get a short little sample size in terms of what the results are for this team. And if we drop a couple of games here, I say we tweak some of the special teams. But that's a win over Florida, big 4-3 win, followed by a home game against St. Louis. I haven't had the scout assignment pop up in a long time. 4-2 win over St. Louis. Guys are staying healthy for the most part, knock on wood. I can't upgrade anything except the pro scout and the assistant coach, even if I wanted to. I'm just gonna wait on that. We just got to get through this season. Let's just get through this season. I say we hold on to upgrading the med staff until we get to season 2. Let's just get through season 1. We need to upgrade the amateur scout at some point, but I mean, the main thing is the first 2 drafts, starting with the draft in the summer here of 2014. Georges is back, by the way. Starting with the draft of 2014 with my created players, that's going to be the really important draft to do and to scout for. So Georges needs to be in the lineup. I'm taking out, did I see it was Diaz, right? I'm taking Diaz out, and I want Georges in the lineup. Georges is going to be, I'm going to put him on the second pair for right now. I mean, does it even tell me what he's listed at? He's 29 years old. I mean, Markov seems to be working with Subban right now. I might keep that the same. You know what Georges would help? He would really help the penalty kill. And we've got Subban out there just dogging minutes on the PK. Georges would really be a big boost to the penalty kill for this team. We got a 3-game win streak going now. With Georges back healthy, Lars Eller set to resume. Well, resume play is not incorrect. And a big win there. 4-game win streak for the Canadiens. We get Georges back in. He's on the PK. He's still going through a playable injury, but he should be 100% now as we play host to the San Jose Sharks. We won that game. Pacioretty gets injured. They just drop like flies around here. How many days before our next game? Okay, I'm going to sim a couple of days. We'll sim up to the 19th of January here. Find out how long Pacioretty could be gone for. Lars Eller will return in a week. So I'm guessing Ryan White gets in there. I don't care about what happened down there in Hamilton. Pacioretty is a 9-week injury. That's rough. This is really, really tough. Can I find a center? I could go get Dom Moore to fill in, but I don't have the cap space. I gotta remember I don't have cap space. I keep forgetting about that. This game, man, why can't I put players on the injured reserve list? I don't think I'm the only person dealing with injuries. Fisher's gone for Nashville. Yeah, there's just every team's going through this, by the way. Every team's got these injuries to go through. It has to hit at this point in the season, and it had to be Pacioretty. So the game says, yeah, let's put Rafael Diaz on the first line left wing where Pacioretty is. I think for now, I got to scratch Diaz. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, Ryan White's in here. Oh, I have to play a D. I have to play a defenseman at a forward position because I don't have a choice. I guess I could do a roster move and I could send down Diaz. I got a tough choice to make. If I send down Diaz, can I see what he's making? 1.225. So, and it's a one-way deal. So if I send him down, right, he's gonna have to go through waivers. It clearly states that up in the top right as well. But if the deal is you risk him getting claimed on waivers, but I would free up 1.225, and I could potentially call up an actual left wing. Just got to send Diaz. It's worth parting ways with Diaz. Just the question is, who is available down here? LeBlanc, he's playable injury, and he's a 75 overall. I mean, are you almost better off trying to play? Where's Diaz? Are you better off trying to play Diaz, an offensive-minded defenseman? He's a good skater. I mean, maybe we try Diaz at forward for a few games. I mean, hell, what can it hurt? Wait, here we go. Here goes the experiment. Diaz on the fourth line for the Montreal Canadiens. This is so stupid. Now, this obviously affects our power play. Someone's going to get double shifted. Well, let me see. Where's Gianta? Gianta's not even on the power play. That's insane. All right, well, guess what? Your time to shine, Brian Gianta. You're on the first line power play. Did I see that right? How old? Gianta's 35, 2-star potential. The drop off is pretty much real for Gianta. We need to squeeze the last little bit of juice out of Brian Gianta to end this season. Uh-oh, don't put Gianta on the PK. Well, let me see this. What is Gianta's defense? His defense category is pretty good for a sniper. You know what? We'll just try that out. I'm gonna try that on the PK. If we start losing games, I still got more to edit, don't I? Gianta is getting in there, and so is Rafael Diaz on the fourth line. If we start losing games, you know who to point a finger at. Max Pacioretty for getting injured. I'm just kidding. 9 weeks is a rough. There's the 9 weeks is a rough timeline. There is the scouting assignment that I was expecting. Oh, we lost 2-1, but I don't know if that was in regulation time or not to St. Louis. This little experiment. Oh, is this experiment going to go sideways? Rene Bourque got injured too. We were on a win streak before St. Louis. So real quick, was St. Louis a win? It was a win in regulation for the Blues, but it was to a Western Conference team. But man, these guys just getting injured all the time. So what happens now? Bourque is out. That means Gilroy gets in there. The Gianta's moved to the first line. So I gotta have a defenseman. I got two defensemen on the fourth line. This is a disaster for this team. So I'm gonna. Oh, Markov is centering the power play. Jeez. Okay, Duchesne is getting a lot of power play time, and Gianta is getting a lot of power play time. God, I hate the injuries in this GM mode. Oh, I hate season with Lars Eller is back. Season 1 is brutal. Well, Lars Eller is healthy just in time for the All-Star break. Still sucks that we lost Bourque to that injury and Pacioretty. 5 weeks for Bourque, 9 weeks for Pacioretty. But we will take a look at who made the All-Star clubs. So this is the West we're looking at right now. There's Parise, Taves, Kane, Ladd, Sedin, Ryan, Getzlaf, Bin, Camilleri, Stastny, Wilson, and Hansel. So they split up the Sedin twins. Burns and Weber, Bouwmeester and Doughty, Sabisa, Schultz, Quick, and Niemi in the net. In the East, Ovechkin, Stamkos, Giroux, Nash, Tavares, Kovalchuk. Wait a minute. Is there really going to be no Crosby? Zetterberg, Kadri, St. Louis, Gallagher, Mueller, Stafford. So Brendan Gallagher of your Montreal Canadiens is an all-star. I haven't even paid attention to the personal stats. So Might need to move Brendan Gallagher up the lineup instead of Giunta if he's having a great season. Chara, Letang, Cronwall, Girardi, Tootin, and Sekera. Ward, Bobrovsky in the All-Star game for the East in the net. Brendan Gallagher, what kind of year you having? 24 points, 13 goals season in 45 games. Respectable. From how old? 21 years of age. And how many seasons? One prior season, 44 games played in that whole first year. And he's basically producing at a similar clip this year as he did last year. A bit in the negative on the plus minus and taking quite a few more penalties. I'm going to wait on Gallagher. He's still young and he's still growing. I mean, this could be the season to maybe push him up the lineup, but we're trying to make it into a playoff spot, and we could very well do that, but I feel like this is a Habs team that's going to be walking a tightrope to get into the postseason, especially you look at the injuries we've been dealt with. It's been a rough year. That was an overtime or shootout loss to the Minnesota Wild. I just realized Chad LaRose got injured in that affair as he is out for an undisclosed amount of time. That's a really, really tempting one. I could grab it. I really wish that was a forward. I really do. But, that Strawman is to me, this is an easy claim. 27 years of age, good skater. He could be, I'm going to screw it. I'm claiming that player. So I claim Strawman, and he's down there in the AHL. Wait, how old is Nathan Beaulieu? 21 years of age. Maybe playing with Strawman could help him. Okay, so we claim Strawman off waivers. He's going to be in the AHL. He's going to be playing with is it Beaulieu? Nathan Beaulieu. Help him grow a little bit. We got a win there. I didn't even pay attention because I can't see it. Who is playing? Oh, that's Hamilton. Whoops, I was editing Hamilton. Gilroy gets into the lineup where Chad LaRose was because of Chad LaRose's injury, but it seems to be working. I mean, defensemen, they can play forward, right? It's harder to go from forward to playing D and easy to go from playing D to playing forward, right? Can we get another victory against a struggling Avs team? We can. With Gilroy, the defenseman, in the lineup. That's the hack. I have found the hack to win games and get into the playoffs. A struggling Coyotes team, we win 7-3 in that affair. 2 weeks for Chad LaRose, I'm just now finding out. But this is the time. This is the time. Huge win streak coming up. Please beat the Kings. They're not a great team. We did. We won that game. Guys on our IR list, I guess, except in this game there is not an IR list to actually put them on. Have got to get healthy soon. We really need an injured reserve list, but what we need is an upgraded med staff. If we can get to 30 wins, that's a loss to Edmonton, obviously, in regulation. Please, no injuries coming out on the other side of this game against the Flames. 3-1 win. We are injury-free in that regard. And we won the game against the Flames, 3-1. Okay, so nice win over the Flames. It's just put points in the bag time right now. Put points in the bag. We're playing a divisional opponent, a bunch of them. 2-1 regulation loss to Buffalo. But that I can deal with. We just got to wait for one of these forwards to get healthy. We got to go a guaranteed 9 days with this lineup as it is. And the game don't screw me over. Just please do not screw me over. That 30th win is elusive right now. We get back to 29-19-6. So just 10 wins separate our total victories on the season from our total losses on the season. Don't get closer to getting back to playing 500 hockey here. We got to win games. Got to beat Tampa Bay. That's another loss. So the losses are piling up now, but Chad LaRose is back and right on time. Okay, Chad LaRose is back in there. 2 weeks until Rene Bourque is back from his concussion or whatever Rene Bourque had. I think it was a concussion. New York Islanders on the road. Back-to-back road games with travel. One with a shutout over the Islanders. You know that was Carey Price that got that shutout for the Canadiens. 30-win season and make it a 31-win season with a victory over the Penguins. We got to go up against the Rangers. Getting LaRose back in time. I mean, the timing for LaRose couldn't have been more perfect to break up that losing stretch as we face the Rangers on home ice now. 3-2 win. Got some wins, getting more points in the bag, closer to being healthy with Rene Bourque at least. Pacioretty should definitely be back by the postseason, should there be a postseason for this Canadiens team. 4-2 win over the Winnipeg Jets. More points in the bag. The struggling Avalanche team again. We rematched the same Avs team we beat the last time we met off with these guys. We did. We won 4-3. Markov is now out with an injured. I'm going to pass on Stu Bickle. Gilroy gets in there in place of Markov. That's just going to have to work until I find out how long Markov is gone for. That does suck because Markov was on my top pairing, working extremely well with PK Subban. And I'm going to go past Minnesota with Gilroy on the top pairing with Subban. We won 4-2. Markov is just 3 days, and then Rene Bourque will be back healthy in 3 days. I would assume ahead of this game against the Chicago Blackhawks. There's a notification. I was waiting for it. First and foremost, I believe Markov is good to go. Yes, so Gilroy, you're done. So this makes things awkward. Basically, substitute Diaz with, where is he? Rene Bourque. Wait, I got to scratch Diaz. Okay, so now with Bourque back in the lineup, this is the way the roster looks. I don't know if the power play has gotten better. Oh, that's right. Markov has to go, I guess, on the power play. Okay, Bourque back in the lineup. Bit of an awkward line editing change. And we were rolling pretty well with the lineup that we had. Hopefully things don't go south for this Habs team. Getting Rene Bourque back in. We did lose that game to the Chicago Blackhawks. It's a trade deadline, but I don't have any cap space anyway. I'm simming beyond the deadline, but I'll take a quick peek at all of the league's transactions once we get past deadline day. So we're going to go play the Winnipeg Jets in Winnipeg on deadline day, keeping the roster as is. Season 1 is, I don't want to do trade negotiations. I don't care. I don't have cap space. I just plain and simply, unless I move a roster player out. But in Season 1, I'm just looking to, let's just try to make the playoffs. They send Sauer on waivers. That's tempting. Cam Barker. It's all defensemen, man. I need a forward that's put on waivers. Don't go on a 3-game lose streak. We did win that game. That's important. Nathan Beaulieu got injured. I didn't even know about that. So are these are, I guess, deadline day acquisitions. The Red Wings acquire Schultz and Mike Brown from Edmonton in exchange for Landon Ferraro and Tverden. Avalanche and the Rangers do a trade. Okay. Flames acquire a first-rounder and Rivik from the Rangers for Matt Cullen. Okay. Didn't Matt Cullen play? I don't know if Matt Cullen played for the Rangers in the real world. For some reason, I feel like he did, but that might be way off mark. Matt Reed acquired by Pittsburgh from Philadelphia. Steve Sullivan from New Jersey. Okay, so these are trades to go way back. So not a whole lot going on deadline day. So there's all the deadline day moves. So yeah, seems like there wasn't a whole lot going on for anybody on deadline day. Still 3 weeks to getting Max Pacioretty back healthy and in the lineup. We lose to the Sharks. Jinx, it's a center, but 65 overall. Yeah, that guy's not getting claimed. Still a decent chunk of the season to go, and Rene Bourque is my leading goal scorer with 20. That's a little bit disappointing. You need to have guys scoring more than 20 goals on this team. Bourque's missed a chunk of time, too, with injury. The whole team, it feels like, has. The most important players on this team have all missed a lot of time with injuries. But I guess that just is what it is. But we're winning right now. I think you get the 40 wins, you get the 45 wins, this is a playoff team. 45 wins is not that difficult to get at this stage of things. I mean, with 38 wins, all you need to do, now we're at 39 wins, all you need to do is win 6 more games and you're there. These are all wins against Eastern Conference opponents as well. I don't even care if they're regulation wins or not. Let these teams fend for themselves. We beat the Flyers in a shutout as well, 2-0. Uh-oh. I just realized Markov and Eller both went right back down with an injury. I gotta wait to see how long it is. Those could be very short day-to-day injuries, or they could be weekly injuries, monthly injuries even. Okay, they're only a few days. It was only a few days, and we lost a game to Pittsburgh. I'm not that fussed about it. Lars Eller is not back yet. I'm just going to keep Gilroy at center. I mean, it's 5 more days until Eller is back. If we can just hang tight until then. 1-0 win. Eller's back, and we win in a shutout, shutout victory over Philadelphia while Eller was down. Well, I told you, 45 wins, not that far away. We got Eller back. Brendan Gallagher went out with an injury as well, but I think that's a playable injury. I don't think he's going to miss. I don't even think Gallagher even got taken out of the lineup with the injury that he was dealing with. I didn't even know that he got injured. I mean, I'm telling you, this game piles on the injuries. 5-4 loss to the Washington Capitals. But again, something I'm not that fussed over at this point. This Canadiens team looks like it's going to make the playoffs. 2-1 win. Pacioretty's back. What perfect timing. Moen went down with an injury, but that one I could care less about. Diaz, you're out of there. Welcome back, Max Pacioretty, to the first line. So I got Gilroy in there. Do I have anyone at forward that can fill in there? I don't know. I don't have a potential player that can go in there instead of Gilroy. This game loves to throw Gilroy in there on the wing when there's an injury. Yeah, that power play, that's Pacioretty's spot. Okay, I don't care about Travis Moen's injury. I really don't care about that. 3 weeks until Brendan Gallagher's back, and then I might potentially have a healthy Habs team maybe going into the playoffs. Fingers crossed on that one. I think upgrading the medical staff at least helps shorten the length of time that guys got injured. 4-3 win over Columbus. We're just riding out the regular season now. We got 43 wins. All you got to do is win 2 games. This is a 43 win Canadiens team. How about that? Despite all the injuries, I mean, Carey Price is a huge part of this in the simulation as well. But this team overcame a lot of adversity this season. Very, very proud. I mean, we're a playoff team. We are definitely a playoff team. I can look over that loss 4-0 to the New Jersey Devils because we've played a really great season. We just got to collect a couple more wins before the season ends. Don't go out on a huge losing streak. Don't go out on a huge losing streak. Vernon Fiddler. That's another, to me, that's, how old is Fiddler at this point? 33. Sent down. He could be a nice call-up option. I'm gonna claim him. I gotta claim Fiddler. I mean, he'll be just a nice. He's gonna sit healthy scratched in the AHL. He could be a nice. I gotta take a look at this player, but Fiddler could be a nice option due to injury. No big losing streaks, please. We're playing the Senators. There's a win. That win over Ottawa breaks it up. We just need to win a couple of games. I'm not asking us to win every game from here to the... You know, I should probably look at the standings just to make sure that we're good. I'm pretty sure that with a 46-win season, we're in the postseason. Okay, sim past the Leafs game and take a quick peek at what the league standings are. At least the division standings. 3-1 win over the Leafs. I didn't think about the personal records. 100 points, so we're not even the best team in the Atlantic Division. But this team is far and away a playoff team. Guaranteed. There's the West. I haven't been showing this for much of the simulation because I honestly haven't really wanted to waste a whole lot of time on this. Bouillon got in there for some reason, and he got injured. So I didn't know. Why was Bouillon in there? I didn't put Bouillon into the lineup. Save percentage leaders, Carey Price, not even on this list. Yeah, or GAA for that matter. But he's one of the best winning goaltenders in the league. Points leaders, goals leaders, yeah, and so on and so forth. We'll sim to the end of the year. I'm not worried about Bouillon. I don't know why was Bouillon in the lineup? Patrick Dwyer. I'm gonna pass on that one. I just picked up Fiddler. Is that who we picked up? whoever Dallas sent on waivers. I forgot who it was. He's down in the minors right now with my organization. Last game of the regular season comes against the Ottawa Senators. So this is a playoff team. And I'm very proud because we could have, I'm going to reject that player. We could have rolled over and died at times. Brendan Gallagher is healthy in time for the next game, but I'm going to rest him. 1 game shy of the postseason. No one get injured, please. Nobody get injured against the Senators before the playoffs start. We lost 4-2. No one got injured. Gallagher is still healing. That's it for the regular season. Who are we playing in the playoffs? Oh, I told you I wanted at least 43 wins this season. You end up with 47. I met the expectations. But guys, we have the Detroit Red Wings in the first round. We start on the road. They finished. Hold on. Oh, I can't see it from here. Well, I can see the playoffs there. Let me show the playoff tree. So there's the playoff tree. Oh, Battle of Alberta? Really? Really? You know, I did the Calgary GM mode, and it took literally the very last season of the Calgary GM mode to get the Battle of Alberta. Here in the Montreal Canadiens GM mode, it literally happens in the first freaking round. But how about that? There is no Carl Boynton. At least he's a player that was generated by the computer for the draft for that GM mode, by the way. I should have made Boynton and Shannon Danner as prospects. I should have created them so I can experience the second coming of the hell that I experienced against the Blues and against the Oilers in the Calgary GM mode. But anyway, it's an original first round matchup for us against the Detroit Red Wings. Obviously, I always preview the opponent ahead of the first game of the first round. I want to wrap this recording up real quick so I at least get the video saved. What a wild season this was. A quick snapshot look. I don't want to go over this too long. I just want this stuff to be in the video. You can slow the video down on YouTube. You can pause it. Whatever you want to do to see the team stats for the regular season from Season 1's simulation. Thomas Plekanec, leading point getter, 62 points in 82 games. Just not really anything to write home about offensively from this team in Season 1. How about my defensemen? We'll take a look at those guys that played on the wing and see what their numbers were. But there's all the forwards and their games played. The leading goal scorer was Rene Bourque. No surprise to me there because this guy, when I remember playing against Rene Bourque and the Canadiens in, I think it was the Washington season mode that I did. And he scored some goals in those playoff series. He was really, really good at scoring goals. Your leading penalty minute taker. Brandon Prust, imagine that, being the leading penalty taker on this team. He finished with an even plus-minus. So the plus-minuses of everybody just going down the list really fast. Power play goals leaders. So here's who did what on the power play. It was spread out on the power play this year. A lot of guys, including Prust, got a chance to play on the power play at times this year. That's how wild the injuries were through Season 1. Shorthanded goals, game-winning goals, game-tying goals, there were none. I don't care about anything else. Face-off percentage, let me look at my centers. Duchesne, more than 50% on the draw. Okay. Markov took 110 face-offs as a defenseman and almost had a 50% win percentage. You should be a center. You should be a center, dude. Incredible. Points-wise, Markov, 38 points in 79 games played. He only missed, I think that's 3 games. As a 35-year-old, what a way to go out for Markov. Maybe he finds a second home somewhere as a center, a depth center. Because, I mean, this is what he did. 5 goals, 38 points, and he played... I don't know why he took faceoffs. I don't know. The game must have just put him in there as a centerman. Subban, 37-point year, 7 goals in 82. He played all 82 games this year, did PK. PK's 24 years old, so he's still got that room to keep growing. Josh Georges, 23 points. Leopold, Yemelin, Bouillon. He played 80 games there. Strawman, Diaz, Gilroy, Drewiski, so on and so forth. Gilroy played a lot on the wing and likewise did Diaz. 1 goal between the two of these guys. A combined total of, what is that? 76 games? I believe that is 70. They almost played a full season's worth of games between these two guys. 1 goal scored. Leading penalty getter was Subban, so he was a naughty guy on the ice for this team. Plus minus leader Josh Georges. The guy on the other side of the plus minus was Diaz with a -6. Power play goal leaders. Subban with just 1 power play goal. What's his shooting category? This guy, wait, his slap shot power? Yeah, he should be scoring more power play goals than that. But anyway, we're going to set up PK when we play the playoff games. He's going to feast out there. And speaking of feasting, 70 games played. He's doing the Peter Mrazek trick out here. Carey Price, 70 games played, 2.34 GAA, 42 win season for him. He had a 91.9 save percent. That'll do. That'll do, Pig. Almost that's basically a 92% save percentage. It's very, very solid. What did he do the previous season? What is Carey Price coming off of his last season? The 2012-2013 season in 39 games, he had a 905 save percentage. That is an improvement for Carey Price. Well, your Art Ross winner, it's a tie between Datsyuk and Jonathan Toews. In 82 games, 26 goals for Toews, but he got 91 points. He's been he fed Patrick Kane a bunch of goals. I don't know. He got most of those points came on assists. Same thing for Datsyuk. Datsyuk was feeding Zetterberg. I mean, the Richard Trophy winner was Ovechkin. We knew that. Wait, it's a tie here as well. Ovechkin and Stamkos have a well, it's not a Mexican standoff, but it's a draw between these two players. It would be a Mexican standoff if there were 3 players with the same goal totals, but there you go. Kane with 41 goals, 83 points. There's who did what. What happened to Crosby? What happened to Crosby's season? He didn't appear in the All-Star game. He had a 71-point year, just kind of an okay season, I guess, for Sidney Crosby, but 30 goals, you'll happily take that from any player that can produce 30 goals, but Crosby can easily score 40 goals. You know, he has that kind of potential. He has a 100-point potential, but it's really hard for a player to score 100 points in this game. I mean, Datsyuk didn't even hit 100 points in the simulation. Who is likely the Norris Trophy winner? Would it be Cronwall? Maybe it's Letang. I don't know how this game determines the Norris Trophy. Cronwall had a plus 17 with 56 points. My brain is burned out doing this by now. The goaltenders, this will be the last thing I look at stats-wise, at least in terms of player stats. Save percentage, but by games played. So we got to first find who played the most games, Corey Crawford or Cam Ward. But look at the GAA on Cam Ward. It's probably Cam Ward winning the Vezina, 94 save percentage. I know 10 less games than Crawford, but a 1.76 is going to be very, very, very difficult to beat. Team standings and sorted by points, how the Metropolitan shook out, just so this is all in the video. So this is sorted by standings. Metro Division, Atlantic Division, which is our division. We finished 3rd in the division, which is why we have the matchup with the Detroit Red Wings that we do. The Central Division, I'm not going over it. I'm just showing it in the video. I don't want to analyze anything in detail. Battle of Alberta is insane. They finished level on points. The Flames and Oilers, that'll be a series to pay attention to. Imagine that. San Jose, Edmonton, Calgary, Anaheim. Nothing changes from the Calgary GM series to the Montreal GM series. Our goals for, it didn't seem to get really any better. But our goals for per game, I don't think that changed either. Yeah, we were not an offensive team this year. We were good enough to get into the postseason. You can thank our defense and goaltending because it had to be the defense and goaltending that got better. Carey Price carried this team. Our goals against came way up. Yes, it did. Our goals against got better. Our goals against per game came down. It was almost 3, and we finished with a goals against per game of 2.50. That is a massive improvement at that pace. You know, at that pace, we could have been like top 5 in the NHL if the defense and goaltending had shown up earlier in the season than it did late in the season. But power play goals, we have 55 power play goals. It's the percentage that matters, and it went up. It improved. It improved by a percentage and a little bit extra. So it did get a little bit better. Not by much, but it did get better. PK percentage, that got better. That got a lot better. It was in the 70s. Was it not? Wasn't our PK in the 70s? And our percentage is effective at 84.2%. We finished 6-4-0 in the last 10. Home and away records in front of you there. That's all that I want to talk about. I'm going to close the video off right here unless there's anything else that I need to remember. Obviously, we've got a playoff run to do. We're going to play. We're going to do gameplay as we usually do against the Detroit Red Wings. Like I mentioned, previewing that roster ahead of game 1 of the next episode. The fun part really kicks off in the next episode against the Detroit Red Wings for game 1. We'll see you there.